The Motorpix Mountain Trail Rally is held in the Allowal North, Barkly East, Elliot area up in the Eastern Cape and provides some of the most challenging roads with the most fantastic scenery. Rally headquarters, the Riverside Lodge in Allowal North, was the nerve centre for the 506.85 kilometre event. The very fast 41.9 kilometre Toyota Clanville Special Stage gave the crews an early morning wake-up call before Special Stage 2, the L&J Plant Services Huningskloof, and the awesome Sasol Otto Duplessis Pass before a much-needed 45-minute service break. Motorpix Bottleneck restarted the second leg and onto the aptly named Volkswagen War Trail. Onto Bossislagte for Special Stage 6 with the final stage, the Subaru Riverbank, back in Allowal North. A crisp cold morning, and as the crew set off, we spoke to Havik and Gemmel about the event.
Yeah, you know, it's like the normal mountain trail, pretty fast. And, you know, you drive most of the event on your instinct, I think. There's no time to think.
Yeah, no, it's 41Ks and it's quite fast in places and slow in other places. You just got to be careful not to slip off the road, otherwise you could be in trouble. And I think punches could play a role in this rally. You know, if you have a punch or two punches, you know, you're sort of out of it.
First on the road and determined to follow up their victory on the Volkswagen Rally was the Castrol Toyota team of Serge Damso and Guy Hodgson, winning the stage by 7 seconds from the Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Golf of Jannie Havik and Douglas Judd. Teammates Enzo Kuhn and Martin Buerta were a further 25 seconds back. While Johnny Gemmel and Gideon Trollope were hampered by the enforced turbo restrictor on the long, fast sections, being 50 seconds off the pace. Charles van der Volt and Cindy Harding in the Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Polo Player were battling with an intermittent misfire. The A6 Team Total Corolla of Lawrence and Paisley shook some of the A8 and A7 competitors with a blistering 21 minutes 34 seconds, only 5 seconds slower than Kuhn to move into 4th spot. Jürgen Fecken and Dave Likovich were 7 seconds behind the Toyota in 5th position. JP Damso and Graham Hooper put their Team Total Toyota Corolla into a ditch just before the end of the stage, costing them over 2 minutes, as well as their roof vent and aerial, which they left hanging on the fence. Anna Skrobler and Brian Duncan in the Nissan Sentra were running a near-standard engine due to the non-arrival of overseas parts. The Mitsubishi Lancer Evo of Rueda and Swanepoel seemed to be off the pace. While Coleman and Koch clocked at 23.16 to move into 11th place. Italians Tony Ball and Marty Olivier were getting used to a new rear suspension setup. While Kobus Roos and Brendan Noonan were hoping for a good finish. Current Class N2 leaders Dean Saunders, but this is the last few of the Team Total Corolla as the gearbox expired early in Stage 2. Leaving the way open for this crew, Visser Duplessis and Thilo van Westenhagen to fight for class honours. But they could expect stiff competition from the Palvin Corolla of Richard Bem and Grant Sinclair. The husband and wife team of Joel and Annika Ritson lead the N3 challenge by 20 points and work hard to keep that gap. Rodney Fasaki and Carolyn Swan have dominated the A5 class this year, and we asked Carolyn how this highly successful team got together.
I did a one-off event with him, and he had a bit of a trouble with his navigator, wasn't sort of always available, and we got together and we just clicked from the word go. You know, our minds work the same and the communication is excellent. You know, whatever I say, he understands what I mean, and so we're a good team, definitely. And I think he's an awesome driver. The communication's good. He trusts what I say, and you know, we both obviously can make small errors, but he trusts that I'm going to say the right thing, and I'm trusted that he's going to keep it on the road. So it makes for a perfect partnership.
And we trust that things will improve for Alan Worms as he heads for his 4th non-finish of the season. The Volkswagen Chico of Martinez Breers and Dolph Putzier. This team are hoping for a good result after rolling the Golf on the Volkswagen Rally. And 4th overall to Lawrence and Paisley. First in A7 to Fecken and Lirkovic. 6th and leading N4, Gemmel and Trollope. uses the 27 kilometres to advantage, taking a further 9 seconds from Habig. The Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Golf of Habig and Judd are battling with tyres and handling. Enzo Kuhn and Martin Botha push the Golf hard and are 2 seconds quicker than their teammates. The Subaru of Gemmell and Gideon Trollope completes the stage in 17 minutes 11 seconds and still hold on to 6th position. On board the Subaru, surface changes are one of the hazards of this type of road, and what appears to be good grip suddenly becomes marbles. These conditions demand enormous concentration from the driver. Van der Vault and Harding are still battling with that intermittent misfire that will plague them throughout the day. Fourth position man Etienne Lawrence is 5th fastest on this stage, and it looks like a good run for the Team Total Corolla. What is it that makes rallying so special? We ask Jürgen Fecken.
It's different to track racing in that you actually, while you're on the stage, you don't know what your competitor is doing, so you're actually pushing yourself to your limit. And at the end of the stage, you look at the stage times and you see if you beat someone else. So you get quite an adrenaline rush. We try and go as fast as possible because you don't know what your opposition is doing.
Following their off-road excursion in stage 1, JP Damso and Graham Hooper are struggling with the handling of their Team Total Toyota Corolla. The Mitsubishi Lancer of Guaida and Swanepoel is right off the pace. Fernando explains the problem.
As we were coming into the first bit of dirt out of the road section, we found we had no turbo boost at all. We lost all the turbo boost, and it's because it's a huge problem. Because the car won't run, it runs, but I mean it's like a 1100. It just won't run at all if it doesn't boost. Also, we've changed a few things, and it's now become intermittent. We have and we don't, so it's very difficult to commit oneself, especially on these roads, where you need whatever you can find if you get into trouble. So I think we were going to stop, but we're going to just drive to the end and see what happens. We'll drive for the finish.
And it looks like Barry Cropper and Mike Barrows in the Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Polo Player are aiming to finish off our cameraman. Join us for more rally action right after the break. Here's some Sasol Auto Duplessis Pass. 37.5 kilometres of fast, tight roads with ascents and descents and sheer drops awaiting the single lapse of concentration. But no fear for the Castrol Toyota of Damso and Hodgson as they win the stage, extending the lead to 21 seconds over Habig and the Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Golf of Kuhn and Botha. Gemmell and Trollope are 4th fastest and move up to 5th position. Charles van der Vault and Cindy Harding are still battling with their Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Polo Player, a drop of over a minute in the stage. Etienne Lowens and Robert Paisley still 4th overall. We join them on board. As Lowens sets the car up for the bridge, the road surface suddenly changes. And the Toyota is beached. A smash wheel and balanced on a concrete block. No such problem for Fecken and Lukovic as they now move up into 4th position. A frustrated rider cruises the stricken Lancer Evo trying to finish the event. Hannes Robber and Brian Duncan in the Team Total Nissan Sentra, showing all their years of experience, grab 7th position. Keith Coleman, who tells us that now he's a grandfather, he's slowed down. Who's he kidding? JP Damso's woes continue. The left wheel bearing is collapsing, and he's having to pump the brake pedal twice before anything happens. Yet he still completes the stage in 21 minutes 38. Paul and Oliver now move up to 10th overall. Cobus Ruth passes the still stranded Corolla of Lawrence and Paisley. With a thumbs up, Etienne's away, having lost over 20 minutes. And leaves a souvenir for the spectators. Craig Trott had a close call when the Corolla slid into a rock, damaging the right front fender, but stopping him going over the edge of a 100-metre drop. Tessa Duplessis and Thilo van Westenhagen fight for the N2 lead. Now that normally consistent Dean Saunders is out and are only 9 seconds behind Richard Bem and Grant Sinclair. This was leading to one of the closest class battles of the day. Charging hard for N1 honours, Martinez Breers pushes that bit too far, and a second consecutive roll for the Volkswagen Chico team. Leaving both the driver and navigator unscathed, but the car a little second hand. As the spectators warn the advancing Toy Toy Spares Taz of Michael Houghton and Bryn Doherty, we asked Michael how did he get into rallying.
Well, I actually started navigating for my brother's friend one event, and then serviced for my brother for many years. And he's a Springbok navigator in the off-road scene, and I've just been following it through that. And my dad's been with many motor companies and been with Toyota now for like 10 or 12 years. And it's just in our blood. They say when motorsport's in your blood, it's in your blood, and after a while you just decide, right, time's right.
As Dolph Coetzee surveys the damage, he's passed by the first of the media challenge cars driven by John Saunders, with Steve Kroblar in the hot seat. Breers and Coetzee finally get underway, only to retire at the end of the stage. Patrick Gearing and Vincent Collins, a second media challenge car, was also to retire in this stage. Top Car's Dion Schoolman is the third media car and gets a little over-enthusiastic, but makes a rapid recovery with a little help from technology. Leading N1 from the start of the event is Rob Duprier and Richard Gernholz in the Volkswagen Chico. Wheels 30 de Vos media challenge car looks like a challenge for the nearest panel beater after a heavy roll in the stage. With only 40 seconds separating the first three cars, the final four stages will be action-packed. Special Stage 4 is the end for the Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Golf of Koen and Botha.
Well, we're halfway through the stage and the engine just started sounding rough, and like 500 meters later it's cut completely. So we've had a look inside and it looks like the cam belt could have broken off or snapped, so that's us. No more rallying today.
On board with the Castrol Toyota team of Damso and Hodgson at the start of Special Stage 5. Still 21 seconds out of Habig and Judd, Damso put in a time of 18 minutes and 29 seconds. Jannie Habig and Douglas Judd must have been low-flying as they brought the Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Golf to the end of Stage 5 in 18 minutes 12 seconds, pulling 17 seconds back from the leader. The Subaru team of Gemmell and Trollope were also fighting back, taking 13 seconds from third-placed Fecken. Van der Walt and Harding, despite their mysterious misfire, were holding on to a strong fifth position. Lawrence and Paisley, after their problems in Stage 3, were desperately trying to pull back from 26. Fecken used every inch of the road to keep the Sasol dual-fuel Volkswagen Polo player ahead of the Subaru Challenge. The team total Nissan Sentra of Krobler and Duncan went into 6th position and 7th fastest on the stage. Keith Coleman and Uwe Koch held on to 11th, 44 seconds ahead of the top car BMW of Blackman. Damso and Hooper had worked their way up from 17th to 10th. Tony Ball and Marty Oliver were now only 2 seconds behind Krobler and Barrows in 9th position. Kubus Ruas and Brendan Noonan in one of their best runs of the season were lying 7th. Barry Krobler and Mike Barrows in 8th position. The N2 battle continued with Duplessis chasing Bem. Craig Trott and Shane Saville, after their earlier lucky escape, were 13th. Adrian Karth and Rickers Ferry start the long uphill on stage 5 with the Polo player. The Palvin Wheel and Steel Corolla of Bem and St Clair led the N2 class and were 31 seconds quicker than Duplessis and Van der Vesthagen through the stage.
Etienne, that's a rally.
Unfortunately, yes. Mishap this morning, but this one's just it's a brand new oil cooler, and it just cracked and pumped out all the oil. So I got to the top there and I got a warning low oil pressure, so I switched off. And you can see the puddle in front there. So no oil inside the car. I can't go anywhere.
Etienne may be going nowhere, but Fasaki and Swan certainly were, leading A5 and now 17th overall. After stage 5, Damso's lead is down to 4 seconds, while Gemmel is within 13 seconds of Fecken. JP Damso up into 8th and only 32 seconds behind Russ. With only 2 more stages left, we're in for one of the closest finishes in rally history. Join us right after the break for more rally action. Stage, and Damso puts in an all-out effort to stretch his lead. On board with Habig, who senses a victory and is every bit as determined as Damso, and takes another second out of the Toyota's lead. The Golf's tyres seeming to last a lot better on the shorter stages. Gemmel and Trollope are using every ounce of the Subaru's power to cut the gap to Fecken by 10 seconds to only 3 seconds. The Sassel dual-fuel Volkswagen Polo player of Van der Voort and Harding hang on to 5th position. Fecken and Lukovic pull out all the stops, but their grip on 3rd position is being attacked by Gemmel. Krobler and Duncan have battled with low power all day. A lower revving engine meant that the gearbox ratios were not ideal, but they still managed to hold 6th overall. Coleman and Koch using all the revs on what many drivers said was the fastest stage of the day. Toyota support as they keep the flag flying for their hero, Serge Damso. Now, with only 3 seconds separating 1st and 2nd and only 9 kilometres of stage left, the battle is on. The final stage, Subaru Riverbank. Damso completes the stage in 6 minutes 15 as Habig blasts off the line. Gemmel, 3 seconds behind Fecken, uses the all-wheel drive advantage for a perfect start.
From there, we've just been going at a quick pace. And now we find ourselves just 4 seconds behind Hergen. And the last stage, 8 Ks to go. So we'll try and get that 4 seconds and get into 3rd place.
Habig and Judd in the Sassel dual-fuel Volkswagen Golf thrill the crowd and complete the stage in 6 minutes 11 to win the event by just 1 second. Gemmel pushes hard as he can to make up that 3-second deficit to Fecken, while Van der Voort and Harden settle for 5th spot and 2nd in A7. Not to be outdone, Fecken blasts the Sassel dual-fuel Volkswagen Polo player through the stage, taking 8 seconds off of Gemmel to ensure his 3rd place. Showing the old style of experience, Hannes Krobler completes the stage in 6 minutes 25 seconds. So the 4th victory for the Sassel dual-fuel Volkswagen Golf 4 of Habig and Judd only 1 second ahead of the Castrol Toyota Corolla of Damso and Hodgson. In third position, Fekkin and Lukovic, only 11 seconds ahead of Gemmell and Trollope. And a great dice for 7th and 8th between JP Damso and Barry Krobler, with only 7 seconds separating the two teams. A5 going to Rodney Fasaki and Carolyn Swan. N1 to Rob Duprier and Richard Gernholz. N2 to Richard Bem and Grant Sinclair. N3 to Brian or Spotty Woodhead and John Ogden. Incidentally, that N1 was a debut rally for Rob Duprier.
Yeah, it was a bit close. You know, we were really struggling with the car in the first half of the event. And, you know, the guys worked hard. We changed quite a few things. And, you know, we were fortunate. I think we caught Serge napping. I think that's actually what happened. And we got a very good stage time in one of the stages. And that was enough to just give us a bit of a psychological advantage. And, yeah, you know, it was a fight right to the last stage. And I think on the last stage we won by 4 seconds. So that was enough to give us our 1 second.
Motorpix were the sponsors of the 2001 Mountain Trial Rally, and Donnie van Jaarsveld has some great news for the next 2 years.
Well, Motorpix makes its money from motorsport world. That's where we're active, that's where we do our thing. I personally like this rally a lot. I've been here for the last 12 years, and we heard that the rally was short of cash, and we felt it's a good way to participate in the thing, in the industry where we make our money. We just wanted our input to be sustainable. You know, we didn't want to do a once-off knee-jerk flash-in-the-pan thing, and we felt that we should give it a fair shot so that the rally can know it can go ahead, that people can relax and know the rally's there, and maybe it'll give Motorpix the branding an opportunity to be known over a period of time.
The Drivers' Championship sees Jannie Hubig with a comfortable lead, his point situation 186 to Jürgen Fekken's 125. Johnny Gemmell slips down to third position with Jaap van der Walt in fourth. A real battle between Etienne Larraz and Rodney Fasaki on 101 after Etienne's non-finish. Serge Damso appearing in seventh position and JP Damso rounding out the top 8.